Welcome to my channel. A lot of people want to know, like, what's your favorite game? What's your favorite series? Well, I thought to myself, well, the best way to do this would probably be to separate them into different consoles, things like that, retro games, and new games. So I'm going to just start with my top 5 favorite SNES games. Number 5 would be Super Metroid. Growing up, I had Super Metroid for the Super Nintendo, and I played that game a lot. When my Super Nintendo got burglarized and taken from my childhood home, my grandfather got me another Super Nintendo, and one of the games I ended up with was Super Metroid. Super Metroid is the beginning of what we know as a Metroidvania type of game. You spend the entire game finding power-ups and finding different ways to power Samus up so that Samus can go take on the alien threats on this planet before finally taking on the ultimate threat, Mother Brain. Now, what I've learned about this game is that it holds up incredibly well with a map system that was revolutionary at the time and gameplay that is tight and strategy that is unlike any other. If you do not know Super Metroid, it is a great way to get into the Metroid games. Number 4, Donkey Kong Country 2. I had Donkey Kong Country 2 as a kid. It was one of the games I remember earliest. I remember playing Super Mario World, Super Mario Brothers, all that stuff, but I also remember playing Donkey Kong Country 2. And that was a big Christmas because I got Donkey Kong Country 2 and I got Yoshi's Island. In Donkey Kong Country 2, you have fluid gameplay, you have tight controls, you have speed, rhythm. That is one of the things I love about the Donkey Kong Country games, is there's a type of rhythm within the game. I really can't stress enough how fantastic the Donkey Kong Country trilogy is, the 3 games, but Donkey Kong Country 2 is the one that stands out the most for me, and I could play that game over and over again till the day I die, and I do plan on doing so. Number 3, Earthbound. Now, Earthbound was a game I actually owned as a kid, and I was astonished by how much popularity it gained as I got older. Now, this game, when I was a kid, I didn't immediately enjoy it. It took a lot for me to get into it. I wasn't familiar with JRPGs. I wasn't familiar with this style of game. The graphics were, in my opinion, not as good as other things like the Donkey Kong Country games and stuff like that I had grown accustomed to and used to. The animations were few and far between, but what really stuck out for me was the backgrounds in the battles, and that really mesmerized me, and also the humor. I found the music to be fascinating, the humor to be fascinating, the story and plot actually drove me to play it and come back to it time and time again, until one time when I was playing it, I said, this is a fantastic game, and I played through it all the way to the end. And Earthbound, as a result, is one of my favorite games of all time. But not just Earthbound, the Mother series as a whole is one of my favorites, and Mother 3 is even better. Number 2, Terranigma is a game that we did not actually get in the United States. It was released in Europe and Japan, and we didn't learn about it until many years later. I didn't learn about it until emulation had dropped, and I was looking for more games with a story arc, with good action RPG elements, and what I found was one of the best games I had ever played, with a deep, evolving story that just got deeper and deeper as you went. You're basically bringing the Earth back to life. You're basically creating the Earth again and resurrecting it from the depths. And that game had an amazing plot, great gameplay, and anybody who has not played it, you should play it. It has tons of side quests. The game can be beaten pretty quickly, but if you want to do everything in it, it will take you a long time. Definitely one you need to check out if you haven't already. Number 1, A Link to the Past. Now, it's no secret to anybody on this channel that one of my favorite video game franchises of all time is Zelda. In fact, I would say it is my favorite of all time. The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past was one of the first experiences I remember having with Zelda, and because of that, it sticks in my mind more than others, and I come back to it time and time again. It is one of those games I have to relive over and over again. I remember Ocarina of Time shortly after, but A Link to the Past is where I truly fell in love with the series. I still love the puzzles, I still love the gameplay, tight controls for what it was at time. It was everything the original Zelda was, but better, and it was what introduced me to the world of Zelda. Anybody who has not played this game, you're crazy. You need to go out and play it. It's on everything Nintendo. Everything that Nintendo has out right now has that game. You need to get it. I really didn't know what to say. I just wanted to give my thoughts and opinions on what the best games for the Super Nintendo were, and I guess I'll come back and do one on other consoles as well, but it's gonna take me a little while to do so. I appreciate you coming and watching me, and if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and subscribe. Come back and see me for more content like this in the future. I make reviews, I live stream games and review them afterwards, so it's a pretty nice channel. I'm also doing podcasts with my buddy Ryan, but I would like to be doing podcasts with other YouTubers as well. Thank you for watching. Have a good day.